Have you ever thought that mercy and justice are like two sides of a coin, where you can only have one at a time? It's a common idea. We picture justice as a stern judge with a gavel, and mercy as a soft-hearted friend who lets everything slide. But what if that's not the whole story? What if, instead of clashing, mercy and justice are actually two parts of a much bigger, more beautiful picture? Let's explore that today, because understanding how they work together can completely change how we see our relationships, our communities, and even ourselves. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about learning how to weave them together. So let's start with justice. What is it, really? At its core, justice is about making things right. It's about truth, fairness, and consequences. When someone does something wrong, justice says, this is not okay, and there needs to be accountability. Think about a simple example. Imagine someone steals your bike. Justice isn't just about punishment. It's about acknowledging that a wrong was committed. The thief broke a rule and caused you harm. Justice demands that this truth be recognized. Without that recognition, there's no foundation for anything else. It's the bedrock that says our actions have weight and our choices matter. If we ignored every wrongdoing, our world would be chaotic and untrustworthy. Justice provides order and safety. It ensures that victims are seen and that society has clear standards for what is acceptable. So justice is essential. It's the framework that holds everything together. But what happens when we have justice all by itself, without any mercy? It can become incredibly harsh, cold, and even destructive. Imagine a world with only strict rules and punishments, no room for understanding, no second chances. A friend makes a hurtful comment, and you cut them off forever. A coworker misses a deadline, and they're fired on the spot, no questions asked. A family member breaks a promise, and they are exiled from family gatherings permanently. See the problem? Justice without mercy becomes legalism. It focuses so much on the letter of the law that it forgets the spirit behind it. It doesn't consider context, intent, or the possibility of human error and growth. It can create a culture of fear where everyone is afraid to make a mistake. It leaves no room for healing or restoration. It simply punishes and moves on, leaving broken relationships and wounded people in its wake. This kind of rigid, unbending justice isn't really making things right in the long run. It's just creating more brokenness. Now, let's flip the coin and look at mercy. Mercy is compassion in action. It's about forgiveness, empathy, and giving people a second chance they might not technically deserve. When someone hurts us, mercy is the voice that says, I see your mistake. I feel the pain it caused, but I am willing to offer you grace. Let's go back to that friend who said something hurtful. Mercy is what allows you to listen to their apology, to try to understand why they said it, and to choose to forgive them. It's about seeing the person behind the mistake. Mercy recognizes that we are all flawed, we all stumble, and we all need grace at some point. It's the glue that holds relationships together through tough times. Without mercy, every small fracture would become a permanent break. It's the force that allows for healing and reconciliation. But just like justice alone, mercy alone has its own problems. What does mercy look like without the foundation of justice? It can quickly become enabling. It can turn into a doormat. Imagine you keep forgiving that friend who constantly says hurtful things, but they never change their behavior. They never apologize sincerely, and they never face any consequences. Your mercy, without the balance of justice, is actually teaching them that their hurtful actions are acceptable. You're effectively saying, "It's okay to keep hurting me." This is where mercy without justice fails. It erases accountability. It ignores the wrong that was done, and in doing so, it disrespects both the victim and the perpetrator. It devalues the victim's pain, and it prevents the perpetrator from learning and growing. True mercy doesn't mean pretending a wrong didn't happen. That's not mercy. That's denial. Mercy without the backbone of justice is weak, and ultimately, it's not very merciful at all, because it allows harm to continue. So, if neither works perfectly on its own, how do we bring them together? This is where the magic happens. Mercy and justice aren't enemies. They are partners. They need each other to be complete. True restoration happens when both are present. Justice acknowledges the truth of the wrongdoing, and mercy provides the path to healing. Let's look at some real-world examples. Think about forgiveness and accountability. Forgiving someone who hurt you is an act of mercy. It releases you from the burden of anger and resentment. But that doesn't mean there are no consequences for the other person. That's justice. You can forgive someone for betraying your trust, but you also need to see them take steps to rebuild that trust. That's accountability. They need to show, through their actions, that they understand the gravity of what they did and are committed to not repeating it. This is mercy and justice in a beautiful dance. Another powerful example is restitution and boundaries. Let's say an employee makes a serious mistake that costs the company money. Justice demands restitution. The employee might need to work on a plan to fix the problem or contribute to rectifying the financial loss. This acknowledges the harm. But mercy comes in by not firing them on the spot. Instead, the company might offer extra training or supervision, giving them a chance to learn from their mistake and prove their value. This is a second chance. At the same time, the company might set new boundaries, like having their work reviewed more closely for a while. This boundary is an act of justice. It protects the company from future harm. But it's done within a framework of mercy that allows the employee to grow. The goal isn't just to punish, but to restore the employee to being a trustworthy and productive member of the team. This balance is crucial in our personal lives, too. If a friend consistently cancels plans at the last minute, justice means having an honest conversation about how their actions affect you. When you cancel, I feel disrespected and like my time isn't valuable. That's speaking the truth. Mercy means you re-having this conversation because you value the friendship and want to find a solution, not just to blame them. A just and merciful solution might be setting a boundary. I'd love to see you, but I can't keep setting aside time if the plans aren't firm. From now on, let's only make plans that we're both sure we can keep. This isn't an ultimatum. It's a healthy boundary that respects both of you. You are showing mercy by offering a path forward for the friendship, but you are also enacting justice by protecting yourself and holding your friend accountable for their actions. It's a solution that honors both the relationship and your own well-being. Ultimately, mercy and justice are two sides of the same coin of restoration. Justice asks, what needs to be made right? It identifies the problem, assigns responsibility, and establishes the truth. Mercy asks, how can we heal from this? It offers forgiveness, creates a path for reconciliation, and focuses on the future. When you combine them, you don't get a watered-down compromise. You get something far more powerful, true, lasting change. You get relationships that are resilient enough to handle conflict. You get communities that are both safe and compassionate. You get a system that holds people accountable while also believing in their capacity to become better. It's not easy. Finding this balance takes wisdom, courage, and a lot of grace, both for others and for ourselves. But it's a pursuit worth striving for. So next time you're faced with a situation of right and wrong, don't ask, should I choose mercy or justice? Instead, ask, how can I bring both mercy and justice to this moment? Thank you so much for watching. If this conversation resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your own thoughts in the comments below. See you next time.